We'll see.
Yeah, right now it's showing a black screen. It should connect in a few seconds. Should be good at showing you guys.
You're live.
We'll find out if we're live. Something just changed on your phone. Oh, it was going to sleep. You got notified.
I got notified. That's exciting.
So it's real. We're actually live down here in our studio. So it's the first time we've ever shot live, not at my desk. So something new.
Not at your desk. Isn't this your desk?
Well, this is my desk in the studio. So I'm at my desk in my office and we shoot the YouTube lives right there. So something new. Our awesome video editors set this all up. So it's a new test run.
But we're here because we're excited. I think it's been more than 8 months in the making. You wanted to do online courses and go deeper and get more specific information to the people that really want to learn. And so you made a course, a masking course, and it is going live tomorrow. At what time?
It's 9 a.m. So can't wait for that.
10 a.m. Mountain Time.
10 a.m.
I guess
we were debating between 9 and 10.
Well, we settled on 10. If you're in California, that will be 9 because we're an hour ahead of you. But the first 5 people that purchase it, what are they going to get?
What are you going to give them? So
they're gonna get
50% off.
So what they'll do is the first 5 people that purchase the course, we will go through and refund them 50%. And how much does the course cost?
$99.
$99.
Am I right?
You're right.
Okay.
So the next people that buy it, 6 through 10, what are they going to get?
They are going to get a cover grip drop cloth. Not this one, but you are going to get one.
And what size cover grip?
You're going to get, because why I say not this one, this is an 8x10. You're going to get, I don't know, you told me last time.
3.5
3.5 by 12.
by 12.
So it's the runner. So best drop cloths there are. Cover grip. You can see on the bottom of them, they're beaded drop cloths. They got a rubber bead on them. They're non-slip, on tile, vinyl, hardwood floors, engineered floors. If you got a ladder on it, you better have a cover grip drop cloth down underneath your ladder, because I had a friend slip on a hardwood floor on a 24-foot ladder, no drop cloth underneath, and broke his femur. So,
today we're going to give away one of those drop cloths, and then we're going to give away a couple gift cards at our store. So where, if they wanted to purchase the masking course for $99?
PaintLifeSupply.com. PaintLifeSupply.com. Go right up the top. Paint Life Academy. That link will drop down. All my courses that are available online are listed there once you purchase a course. On the bottom, there's a link that says My Courses. You'll click the course. They are online courses, taken through a pretty cool application where it monitors your progress in the course, where you're at in each video, how you've done on your test, because there is test in my course. After each chapter, there's a quiz at the end. There's a final exam. How many videos are there in it?
40 something?
How many, Asher?
45.
45.
45 lessons. There are more videos.
45 lessons, but there's more videos. So who would ever have thought you could have that many lessons and videos on masking?
So Jeff Wilson said, I love your tips, man. Alberto says, hola.
Hola.
Destida Espanol. I don't know. I know hola.
What's
That's
hola
hello.
mean?
Hello.
Does it mean hello?
Big Worm says, love your work and happy to see you live. John says, thanks for the videos and tips. Big Worm says, love those drop cloths. John says, yeah, they're great. A customer wants me to cant their whole interior with Zinsser bin shellac primer. Do you need a HVLP for that, or can I use an airless sprayer?
You can use an airless. So I've done that before. So bin, where I've actually sprayed it with an airless, is doing repaints inside where people's animals, cats and dogs have urinated all over everything. So it's going to eliminate odors. It's going to block them in. I've also done it on smoke and fire restoration. It'll block smoke odors, all that stuff. It's absolutely amazing. Great primer on cabinets too. So on spray it, and you might have to back roll it depending on what you're putting it on. So but yeah, you can spray it, you can brush it, you can roll it, you can put it through an HVLP or airless.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, the only way I know you're here is by showing that you're here and asking questions. We have a couple giveaways. We're gonna give away 2 gift cards at our store. What's our store?
Our store is
Paintlife.
paintlifesupply.com.
So we're gonna give away a couple gift cards there, and we're gonna give away a drop cloth. And so you need to make sure and engage with us so we know you're here.
I see when the videographer switched to the other video, I see the thing like the little focus square on me. Does it show on the video?
Oh, it probably is.
Yeah, it's following Chris's
It's
face.
following. I've got a focus square on me. So we're gonna fix that. So that's kind of
So
interesting.
John said, I know you're big with the back rolling, but any tips on cutting?
That's going to make you faster than just doing it. I mean, I've just cut in thousands of miles of ceiling cut-ins, and I'd say a good quality brush is going to make you faster, and a good quality paint. So there's nothing that's going to make you slower than a poor brush designed to not cut in well, and poor paint that's too thick or drips and is messy.
What kind of brush do you recommend for cutting in ceilings?
I designed, had Premier design me a brush, named after my daughter, the Brook, and it's specifically for interior painting and specifically for doing cut-ins. So it's the Premier Brook, sold at paintlifesupply.com.
So John was the one who asked that question. I can't see what his last name is. Caggio or something like that?
John.
Caggiano.
I
Cag.
might want you to repeat the answer that you had, because I think when Ashley turned the camera off, the sound cut for a second.
Okay,
You lost
so,
that first one.
well, John Cagino, for asking that question, we want to send a $50 gift card to you so that you can maybe try out a Brook brush. And how can he get his $50 gift card?
I'm going to paintlifesupply.com. Down in the right-hand corner is a little chat icon. And that little chat icon, you click on it, that's how you chat with us live. And we'll verify it's you, what you want, and we'll ask you for an email address if we're sending it to you. So I think we got to answer the question again, because they said it was, what was the question?
So it's about the ceiling cut-ins. Like, do you cut in the ceilings twice or one time?
So you always got to go back and do touch-ups. I don't cut it in twice, but I go back and touch it up after it's done. So there's, one thing that's going to make you better at cut-ins, and that's a paintbrush. Paintbrushes that are designed for interior and designed for cutting in. There's nothing that's going to make you worse at cut-ins and slower cut-ins than a bad paint. So you got to have a good quality paint. Benjamin Moore, like a Regal, Aura, they cut in amazing. Bears Dynasty absolutely cuts in amazing. So you got to have a good quality paint with a good quality brush. The brush I designed, the Brook by Premier, was designed specifically for that.
And so John asked that question, and so we're going to give you, John, a $50 gift card to our store. And so what you need to do is go to paintlifesupply.com and go to the chat button and say you won the gift card. And I'll need to get your email address, and I'll email that gift card to you. But thank you for being with us and asking questions. We appreciate it.
Yep.
So this person said, I'm painting concrete garage walls. Do I need to prime first, or will masonry paint go straight on? Regards, Garth in Ireland. So Their paints might be a little different than ours.
Painting concrete walls, do I need to prime first, or so that's all going to depend on the product you're using. So you wouldn't need to prime if you're using a masonry product like Loxon XP. I just recently did a video painting block, and I used Loxon, 2 coats of Loxon rolled on with a interfeed roller. So if you're actually just using a paint, it's probably a good idea to prime it. But I usually, if I'm doing a concrete wall, I'm going to use like, you could, if you're just trying to get color on and you don't care about filling stuff, like H&C, solid color stain, would be great for concrete. But if you're trying to fill and stuff, you're going to want to use something like Loxon, which is a heavy body product that, really fills too, and you don't need to prime. If you're using that product, you don't need to prime if you're using HC. Definitely want to back roll though. You don't want to just spray it. No matter what you're using, you want to back roll it. And back roll enhances penetration, and it enhances adhesion. So
I have a good question for you from Keith Wind. He said, I did a whitewash on my tongue and groove patio ceiling here in Florida. So it's humid there. I got mold on the surface. Can I put a ceiling over it, and what kind?
Yeah, I would have sealed it like a product that I've used in that type of application. Helmsman water-based spar urethane is a great product, and it's water-based, so it's.
Would
it's
you
pretty
want
cool.
like you have primers like Rust-Oleum Zinsser has one that's
They
like a
whitewashed
mold.
it, so you don't want to cover it. Like Zinsser's mold killing primer
That's what
that
you'd
kills
wanna use.
mold, putting over it is pure white. So
Yeah.
you would have to, if you're wanting to preserve your whitewash, you're gonna have to eliminate that mold by maybe a bleach solution, spraying it on, killing the mold. Then you're gonna want to clear coat it so you don't have that problem anymore. Helmsman spar urethane. They got water-based and oil-based. The water-based doesn't yellow and simple, easy to use. I'd spray it, back brush it is what I would do to get it on.
So Ian Mann says, hi, great content. Thank you for that. My question is, I have stone around my window. Old paint has flaked off and it was sand cement filled. Then the same masonry paint as before, but it's gone brown. Please help. I'm not too sure.
Read that one more time. So, Pross.
My question is, I have stone around my windows. Old paint had flaked and it was sand cement filled. Mm-hmm. Then the same masonry paint as before, but it's gone brown. Please help.
So, like, you're getting bleeding, so you gotta, apply a stain blocking primer that's gonna stop whatever's bleeding through and discoloring the paint. So, depending on what paint store you have access to. I mean, Zinsser makes a wide variety of stain blocking primers, water-based, oil-based, and alcohol-based that will work for you. I mean, I would probably be using like Zinsser Cover Stain, which is an oil-based product, and spot prime over any places that are discoloring and getting bleed through. So without seeing it, I couldn't tell you what is causing it to discolor, but you got to get something that's going to block that, whatever's bleeding through and discoloring your paint.
We're having great questions, so thank you everybody for being with us.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go to the next question, just want people that are checking in now to let them know that tomorrow we are launching your online masking course, 10 a.m. Mountain Time.
Mm-hmm.
The first 5 people that purchase it, it's $99. They'll get 50% of their money back. And then the next 5 people that purchase it will get a cover grip drop cloth. And we still have, what size drop cloth? We still have one we're gonna give away.
3, did you say 3.5? I always forget.
3.5 by 12.
It's a runner.
It's a runner.
So the cover grip.
So people have hallways. Most homes have hallways. We're gonna
Cover
give
grip.
one of those away today.
I probably have 4 or 5 of them in my trailer, and it's the most common size, used. So you can't have enough runners. And cover grip, the cover grip runners are the best runners on the planet. So
Run in.
A lot of questions popping.
This is John Gibson. I used a Kills, then latex paint on melamine cabinets. It still scratches easily. Should I have used a different primer?
So the cabinets
Kills.
are scratching.
Yes, and I use Kills.
Well, the primer's gonna. There's gonna be a couple issues. Primer and top coat are going in a latex product. I don't know. They didn't say what latex product they're using, but you want something specifically for cabinets. You can't get any better than like a catalyzed 2K poly. If you're using something over the counter from Benjamin Moore, they have multiple products, but Benjamin Moore Advance dries extremely hard, but it takes 30 days to cure. Command's a really great product, so you got to have a good primer too, and you should be sanding first. Priming is not going to be good enough, so you should scuff sand with a 220 and then prime, and that's going to make your primer bite better. So we typically are putting a 2K poly and catalyzing our 2K poly primer also, and that's going to give you better adhesion. But if you've already done and completed the process, you need to get top coated with something now that's going to resist the scratching. So it all starts from the if you're able to scratch it, it starts with a top coat, being able to penetrate that and get underneath it. So you need something hard on top.
But you just did a coatings tour, so that's on YouTube. So
Yep.
you went around and talked to a few different coatings companies at the woodworking show in Vegas 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so that was I think the part 1. I think there was 4 or 5 coatings company that produce 1 and 2K polys that I would highly recommend if you're
So watch that
not
video.
necessarily all the companies. I would highly recommend a 2K poly, but some of the companies I interviewed make some great products. So
And some 1Ks too.
in one case, if you, I know when I first started hearing the term, I was just like, I have no idea what these people are talking about. 1K means you're just using it straight out of the can without any type of catalyst or hardener, just right out of the can. 2K means you're adding a second component to it. You're adding a hardener, like an isocyanate hardener. And so that hardener has a pot life to it. And so just out of the can, you can close the can up, reuse it again a month later. Once you start adding a hardener in it, you typically got like a 5-hour pot life, 4 or 5 hours, 6-hour pot life, and then the product's gonna get hard and it's not usable, just like an epoxy.
So we have somebody local in Boise, Larry Myers. Thanks for being with us. You want a recommendation for a pool deck coating in Boise?
Pool decks are difficult. I got a pool and I have to coat it every couple of years.
Is a deck just the concrete?
It's concrete, so it all depends on are we talking wood or concrete. I use H&C solid color stain on my pool deck. It was bare concrete. I use it on walkways. I've even used it on like edge banding on driveways and stuff. You can put it on a driveway. It does resist heavy tire wear and stuff, but it's a good product. It's flat. There are products, Cool Deck. So Sherwin-Williams make a product called Cool Deck specifically for decks, which I've used it before. It doesn't go a long ways. It's expensive, but it keeps the surface, I think, if I remember correctly, like 30% cooler, which, if your deck, if it's wood, it could get really hot. So concrete typically doesn't get as hot as wood, but try that product. But H&Z is what I use. If it's a wood deck, there's multiple deck products out there. That Super Deck is a product I've used, had a lot of success with over the years.
So Steve Whitmore, thank you for sharing. Chris, you're my main painting teacher and mentor. I've learned so much from you. Thank you so much, my brother. God bless. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
So we may not be able to answer this, but you may be able to.
Okay.
Agoras, how can I clean out a sprayer with shellac-based primer? I live in California and denatured alcohol is banned and unavailable to purchase.
Wow, so that's a good question. So
Isn't denatured alcohol what we do our fingernail polish with?
acetone.
Is that close?
No?
No?
They're two different things. So
Okay.
denatured alcohol, that's, so when I use bin, I clean out with denatured alcohol. This is, I don't want to give you bad advice, but we, of our HVLP sprayers, we always clean them out in the end with acetone. So that's, I'm gonna have to do some research, because I know California, they're making it difficult with a lot of regulations, but there's a lot of other chemicals out there. I have to do some research. Would acetone or naphtha like clean it up, and are they banned? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So
I would ask your local paint store too, because they would
Yeah.
know what products they can sell and that are working for that.
unfortunately, I've never had to research that, because we don't have those kind of regulations. I mean, a lot of places across the United States are starting to adopt the same regulations California has, so I'm sure it's coming my way. So I'm definitely going to research that today when I get off this video, and maybe do next time on my live show, talk about it. So
Okay, one more question. Robert Lane says, I do a lot of repair work around the Puget Sound, and with age and experience, I find myself doing work on homes built from the 1950s to the late 1800s. What type of rot stop product would recommend? So you're talking a very wet climate, a very moist climate. Rot stop.
so read that. Let me,
So he lives like in the Puget Sound, and they're
yeah.
old historical houses, and obviously with it being so moist, the wood's rotting. Is there a product that you
Yeah.
could put on to protect that wood?
So there is a product, Ocon Paint Booster is a product that, because paint in itself isn't necessarily, it's water resistant, I think, but not waterproof. And so, I mean, you can't take like exterior paint, put it on a horizontal surface. It's meant for vertical surface. You can't put it on a horizontal surface and just let water withstand on it for long periods of time, because it's, water resistant to an extent, but not really waterproof. I've done this, and I've used it quite a bit in the past. Ocon Paint Booster. It makes your paint waterproof. So, for stucco houses, when we're getting a lot of cracks in the stucco, water's getting behind the stucco, it's causing the cracks to get worse and worse, expansion and contraction. We've used Ocon Paint Booster for that. We've used it even on wood-sided homes, composite-sided homes. So it's a product you add to the paint, and I believe it's a gallon per 5 that you add, and it's a really cool product. It doesn't degrade the quality of the paint by adding it to it. Doesn't change the color of the paint, and I used it quite a bit in the past.
Is there any primers you would recommend to go on it to stop the dry rot? I mean, I know you have that one stuff that you can repair the dry rot with, the JB Well.
JB Well makes repair products and stuff that that are really cool for repairing, making it hard again. You pour on, wipe on products that harden the dry rot stuff. But it's really your top coat that is the protective coat. I mean, you got to have a good primer, to bond to it. But then your top coat, I would use a high-end product like Benjamin Moore Aura is my top coat, which is going to be, just a better product, more resistant to everything, and but then add Paint Booster to it, Ocon Paint Booster, and I don't have a ton of because we live in a pretty dry climate, so we're not dealing with a lot of dry rot or rotted wood up here, and so just some spot stuff here and there that, but once again, Ocon Paint Booster is great for your top coat.
So Tamara says, I'm using the same paint color sheen, 4 walls, ceiling, trim. Do I need to cut it in, or can I just paint it all the same time? I don't want splotchy. Bear Dynasty Matte 1 room, Sherwin-Williams Emerald in the other.
It's interesting doing, I won't get into like recommendations, but if you're doing it like, what your trim should be, what sheen and stuff like that, it's a different topic. But if you're doing your trim,
Walls and ceiling, everything the same.
and everything in the same sheen, you would typically, if you want a really nice finish on your walls, you're going to roll your walls, but you don't want to roll your trim because it's going to stipple it. And so you would typically want to spray it so it gives you, a nice finish. If you can't spray, then you'll want to brush it so you have a nice brushed finish, and you can apply it with a roller, but then you want to lay it out with a brush. And so you're going to have to brush. You don't want to go down, if you're rolling your walls, hit your baseboards with your roller, unless you're going to go back and hit them with your brush to knock down the stipple. So you are going to have to cut it in. If you're spraying all your trim and then going back and doing your walls, then you're going to have to cut in around your trim. Now, if you're spraying your walls, ceilings, and trim, you don't have to worry about cut ins if you just spray the whole thing. But. So
Tamra, that was a great question. Wilson, we're going to give you the 3.5 by 12 runner from Cover Grip. Thanks to Cover Grip. So how can she get that?
Go to paintlifesupply.com, paintlifesupply.com, go right down in the little chat icon. If you hit that icon, that's how you chat with us live, and we'll verify who you are and get your address so we can ship it to you.
Yeah, we definitely need your address to ship it to you, and probably your email. So real fast, we are here because we are launching our online masking course tomorrow at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. If you are one of the first 5 people to purchase the course, you get 50% given back to you. And if you're 6 through 10, you're going to get what?
What are you going to get?
A
Cover Grip drop cloth.
What size?
3.5 by 12.
3.5 by 12.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to get. But it's really exciting. It's $99. And if you have a company and want to buy it for your employees to see everything they need to know about masking and get some tips and tricks from Chris, we will have a discounted price for employees to do that, and you just have to contact us and we can set that up for you. So tomorrow, that is our exciting news.
Yep.
Chris wanted the course to be out in January, and we're not saying that it's the middle of August.
And so, and some of you might even be asking, why do I need to watch the masking course when, I literally got 1,500 videos on painting. And so
Totally different.
It's totally different. So typically my YouTube videos are somewhere between 8 and 15 minutes long, and they're really condensed and short because watch time, is really low. People just learn what they want to learn, within a couple minutes, and they're out of there. So a lot of my videos are super short and not as nearly as informative. In the masking course, I've gone and just been extremely more detailed, give more tips and tricks, more information, more information on the tools that I use, why I use those tools, where I use those tools. So it's a more in-depth course, and it's if you're new to masking, if you're an apprentice, instead of having to spend weeks or months learning masking and what tools you need to start masking, you can learn right now by watching our course and get yourself to making more money and masking faster and more efficient. So
somebody was asking about what your favorite paint is, and you probably a month or so ago put out a video of the different paints that you use. Mm-hmm. And I think our goal is really to try every paint that's out there.
Yeah.
And with each company, they have a good paint that you should use, a medium paint, and a bad paint. And so you always encourage people to buy the better paints from the paint companies because why? They have more solids. What are some of the things that make a good paint?
I mean, it's really simple. You just get what you pay for. In order to cut the price of the paint, they're going to have to cut something out of the paint. And so whether it's titanium, which is really expensive, that helps in coverage, so the paint's not going to cover as good with a cheap paint, to the resin. So you start removing the resin, which is really expensive, which adds durability, water resistant, scratch resistance, scrubbability. I mean, just those two things. You got to eliminate something and add something to take its place, like cheap clays and fillers. And then the raw materials, there's good and bad, and cheap and expensive in raw materials. And in order to make a cheap paint, I mean, the paint company is going to make a cheap paint because unfortunately there's a demand for cheap paint, because there's a lot of people that don't understand, you know, there is a difference in a $50 gallon of paint and a $19 gallon of paint. And you know, the warranty will give you an idea, you know, what level of paint you're dealing with, but you know, don't believe, you know, necessarily the warranty. Like, I only typically use on exteriors lifetime warranties. No paint's gonna last a lifetime. So
It's gonna last longer.
that's the only guarantee that you'll really get, you know, with that paint, is it's not going to last a lifetime, but it's going to last longer than their 15 or 20-year warranty paint, and it's going to have more of the expensive raw materials in it. So your life is going to be made easier. Inexpensive paints drip, splatter, overspray like crazy. So you just make your life miserable. They don't cover. You're going to be doing more coats. Ultimately, in the end, I do have to say this is cheap paints will cost you more money, period. They will cost you more money because of the labor and time in application. And so, and if you, there is a one coat paint that I can't believe, you know, a one coat paint exists, and a lot of people don't believe me until you actually go test it yourself. But Bear Dynasty has a true one coat paint, and it's the only paint I've ever seen cover in one coat. And I tested it, and you know, you may not believe me, but it was one coat. And that paint, you know, if you're applying only one coat of that paint and you're applying 3 coats of another paint, you're going to end up buying 2 gallons of the one versus 1 gallon of the other. And so it's going to eventually equal itself out, let alone the time applying 2 coats or 3 coats. Now, as from a professional painter standpoint, I typically always, you know, do 2 coats, but sometimes it's going to save you from the 3rd and 4th, because now what's really common is just white walls. And it's crazy. The walls here, if you were just to go pure white over this, majority of white paints are going to be at least 3 coats on most white paints. It's a nightmare painting with just white. So what paint? Somebody said, are you opposed to box store paints? I mean, the Bear Dynasty is from a box store.
Yeah,
so,
and that's a good product.
So I'm definitely not opposed to box store paint. So Bear Dynasty is an awesome product, and I really, you know, I really hesitate, like, you know, saying what is the best paint I've ever used, because there's a lot of good paints.
And
I think
some
Bear Dynasty is literally the best interior paint that I've ever used. And 2 years ago, I would have told you probably if you bought Bear paint, it's going to be the worst paint you'll ever use. And
It's the pro model. I mean, they came out with it for the professional.
For the professional
Yeah.
painter, but it's the do-it-yourselfer should be using it along with pros. Another product, PPG, is in box stores. PPG Breakthrough is amazing paint.
That's on our front door.
It's on our front door, and I think PPG has the best ceiling paint out there. So environmental regulations have really ruined ceiling paints. So the best ceiling
living
paint,
longer.
Yeah. So I've tested a lot of ceiling paints in the past, and Glidden and PPG have the 2 best ceiling paints that I've used in the past. So there was other ones that were better, but because of environmental regulations, the reformulation completely
You like
ruined
Benjamin
them.
more too? They have a lot of good Aurora.
When it comes to ceiling paint, PPG was amazing spraying, and the Glidden one I used, and it was Glidden ceiling paint. It said that you cannot spray it right on the bucket, and I did.
But what did you do?
And I sprayed it because I
Testing
like
things.
to break the rules. So I sprayed it, and it sprayed amazing and covered amazing. It just, what I noticed, and it's probably why they tell you, there was a lot of fallout. So a lot of kickback and fallout was coming back at me. So, you know, you'd have to have a lot of drop cloths and, you know, floors covered if you were going to spray it.
So no bones about it. Any good latex primer you know of for cedar lap siding?
Cedar lap siding, you know, if I was doing cedar lap siding, I wouldn't be priming it and painting it. I would be using Woodscapes or Arbor Coat from Benjamin Moore. Arbor Coat is absolutely amazing.
I heard they're getting rid of it.
We've heard that
But we don't
through
know.
the grapevine, but we don't know if that's true. It's so anytime I'm dealing with raw wood, I always go with solid color stains. They tint just like a paint. You can get them all the same colors, but they're meant to go over raw wood. And so wood doesn't like paint, and wood doesn't like primers, solid color stains. So Woodscapes is amazing, and spray, back brush it, roll it, and it's self-priming, and it's self-priming on metal also.
So what would the best strategy be when spraying a deck?
Spraying a deck.
Spraying a deck.
So I do have some deck videos. When I always brush and roll my decks, but I sprayed my the crevices. So I go with a 310, or like even smaller, like a 208, depending on the coating you're using. And I like to spray both sides of the gaps, because it's easier to get in, and things where underneath where your spindles are, I'll spray around all those. But you're gonna have a better finish when you brush and roll it, because you get better adhesion, penetration. So decks, I'm typically always brushing and rolling, but spraying the gaps.
I just answered somebody. So real fast, we have one more giveaway to our store. What's our store email?
PaintLifeSupply.com. That's our website, not email.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
PaintLifeSupply.com.
And so we're gonna give away a $50 gift card
Yep.
at our store. So John Cagino said, do you always prime a spackle spot with a separate primer, or can you get away with it with paint primer combo for coverage without doing the separate prime coat first?
If you're just, if you're spot spackling, you don't need to go back and prime it. They do have spackles that that have primer in them, so you don't have to prime them. But if you're using a paint, like I'm not a believer in paint and primer in one. There's something's got to give between the two of them. If you're, instead of using two separate, if you're trying to use, one, there's got to be some give and leeway, and you're not going to get the best out of both products if you're using them individually. But just spot spackling walls, when you're patching holes in walls, if you do a paint primer one, you roll over that spot first, roll over it first, let it dry, and then roll your whole wall. You're going to be totally fine. It's going to be not an issue. It's never been an issue for me, so it's just 2 coats over that spackle spot.
So Lake Man said, thank you for your answer on spraying a deck. Mike Palmer said, hey, from Prince Edward's Island, little town called Summerside. Where's Prince Edward's Island? I would think
That's
it's off.
Alaska.
Is it?
Yeah.
Off the coast of Washington?
There was one of the guys that worked for us had a Prince and something Prince. I don't know.
That's Summerdale.
So I'm not sure. My geography.
This person
is
said, have you ever used Rombio masonry flat? Have you used that?
Let me see. Where's it at?
Romabio masonry
I
flat.
have not used that before.
Also, if applied and had to do mortar repair later, can the repair be attached to the stained brick? I'm not sure.
Let me read that real quick. Can the repair be attached to the stained brick?
So they're off of Canada. So I was thinking
not sure,
Washington, you're thinking Alaska, so it's off of Canada.
Did you do your mortar?
East
I mean,
Coast.
if you're dealing with brick and you're doing mortar repair, whatever product that is, I'm not sure what product that is. You should
It's
just
a
be able to-
mineral-based stain for brick.
Yeah, you should be able to just, if you're doing mortar repair, I'm not sure if it's, if it's semi-transparent or it's solid stain, but if you do like a solid stain, if you do a mortar repair, you would just stain right over the top of it with a solid color stain. But I'm not sure, I'm not sure exactly what the question is referencing.
Jerry Hacker said, would a Graco 490 PC be a good sprayer for someone starting out? Why or why not?
It's an awesome sprayer. So Graco makes great products. The 490 PC is a great little pump, to start out. So it's it's not going to break the bank like a 695 or something, but it's a good little sprayer. I started out with the first 3 years at Titan 440i, which is a tiny little sprayer. And so, yeah.
So,
Not sure.
Ryan says...
The camera's going to be overheating?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, Ryan says, in your opinion, what would be the best process in restoring an old shake shingle oak roof? It's old with mildew and the finish is completely gone.
Well, I've never done shake roofs before. I know that's kind of another specialty in itself, but the guys that do them, that oil them, they get up and pressure wash them with a rotating nozzle, strip them really good, and then they re-oil them. And so I'm not a roof expert. I don't got...
You don't put anything on to kill the mildew, like a bleach or anything like that?
You would want to definitely kill, mildew, so you're going to use like a bleach solution, like 25%, bleach, spray the whole thing to kill it, and then you're going to coat it. A lot of coatings, will have mildewcides in them. Hopefully you would have a coating that had a mildewcide so you don't have that problem, in the future. But a couple more questions.
Okay.
How long have we been
Yeah, we've been going for a while. So Mike Palmer says, enjoy your videos like I'm 51, learning new things that I'd never think of. You show good tips and ideas. Well, thank you, Mike,
very much
for sharing that. We appreciate it. And DG20 says, have you used Sherwin-Williams Chem Aqua Plus Clear to finish new wood? And if so, does it compare to lacquer?
So Chem Aqua Plus is a good product. So it's a good product, but it's not something I would use. Did he say what he was putting on again?
To finish new wood.
To finish new wood, like.
And he's comparing it to lacquer.
Yeah, it's. It's comparable to lacquer. I don't got a lot of experience with it over time to go back and see how durable it is and stuff, but. I've got some friends that use it and absolutely love it. If I'm going to be finishing new wood, it depends on what you're really finishing too. I'm not a fan of lacquer for cabinets. I don't think it's durable, chip resistant enough. Or furniture. So if it's a new wood, I'm going to be using a 2K poly, and I'm going to be catalyzing it. And a 2K poly is going to be significantly more chemical resistant, scratch resistant, water resistant, and mar resistant, scuff resistant than Chem Aqua Plus. So it's a good product, and I think it's easier to use than lacquer, and but once again, I've only used it a couple times. So
well, we have one more giveaway to give, and that is going to be to Mike Palmer.
Mike Palmer,
who's on the island off of Canada, on the East Coast, and the other side. How does he get a $50 gift card to our store?
Go to our paintlifesupply.com, which is a store. The website on the bottom corner, the right-hand corner, is a chat icon where you can chat with us live. We'll just say what you want. We'll verify it to you, and we'll get your email address to email you the gift card. And
so, thank you for being with us today. Make sure, put it on your little alarm clock or something.
10 a.m.
Mountain time. We're releasing our online masking course. The first 5 people will get it for half off. They'll get that discount after they purchase it. We'll refund it to you. And then 6 through 10, what are they going to get?
They're getting a cover grip drop cloth. So there you have it.
Did you guys want to talk about the masking kit?
Oh, we never did talk about the masking kit.
Well,
and Facebook Live. Do we have it here?
Yes, it's right there. So we do, a lot of people come to Chris's platform and they want to learn, and they want, to buy the tools that Chris uses, because this is what's brought him success. And so with the masking course, we now have on our store a masking kit, and it's everything that you need for your project.
To mask. So if you're brand new to painting, and you're going to be doing any masking, interior and exterior masking, these are essential tools and products that you're going to need to do the job, and a few of them are going to make you faster and more efficient at masking, like a tough gaff. And then some tapes that you're gonna need to mask with. My favorite tapes and tools, 2-edge knife. This is the masking kit. No masking kit would be a masking kit without a masker. And and then some socket blockers. Absolutely love them. Use them all the time. If you've never heard of a cobber, in my masking course I talk about it where I use it. But there's the masking kit. I only use 9-inch paper. I only use 72-inch masking film. It's all right there.
Is this everything?
This is everything that comes in the masking kit. A straight cut blade. If you've never heard of a straight cut blade, absolutely must for tearing plastic in a straight line, and a film blade. I don't ever use a paper blade. I only use the film blade. So that's the masking kit. We've made it very simple. If you're masking your house, you're a do-it-yourselfer or you're a professional painter, and you just started out and you need a kit put together, plastic. I use 9x400 plastic every single time I mask inside and outside. I use it to tie up plants. I use it to cover furniture. I use it to cover appliances, stuff. So 2-edge knife I carry with me every single day, everywhere I go while I'm painting. So it's the masking kit, and we've made it easy for you to purchase now, paintlesssupply.com.
Well, thank you, everybody. Jerry Hacker said, I watch all your videos and learn from you on how to paint professionally. Thanks for the videos. Thank you for watching. That's why we still exist. And Catch Your Painting says, thank you for the great service from the store. Highly pleased with all of our orders. We thank you for the purchase also. We'll let our girls know. They're the ones that fulfill all the orders and handle customer service. So we really appreciate you guys, and we're excited to be launching our second course. Stay tuned. In about a month, we're going to be launching another course, and we'll be putting that out across our platform. But if you're interested in the masking course, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Be there. You can get it half off.
And was our first run of our live show in our studio. So we plan on now coming here and shooting live videos a lot now. We used to do them like once every 2 weeks or so.
We used to do it weekly.
Weekly. We used to do live shows weekly, and we're going to get back to doing live shows, answering questions. If you didn't get your question answered today, come back again. I think we're going to start doing them once a week. In the beginning, the little focus thing was following my face, and that probably it probably wasn't annoying because it just
I was watching it.
It hid my ugly face.
I was watching
it. And you don't want to see my face anyway.
Yes, we do. I like your face.
So we won't have the little focus thing like following my face next time. But
okay.
I think it's pretty cool. So this is pretty cool, and I really like this. So I know it's really helpful to answer people's questions live, and we had a lot of questions today, so that was really cool. So stay tuned. Maybe it's going to be happening once a week again. So,
but you got to push the notify me button when we go live.
Yeah.
Clear your apps to make sure you get notified.
Yeah. So I think everybody that got on here probably has that. It's probably how they saw it. But if you don't, you have to subscribe and click the notification button. So
do both.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. We wouldn't exist on YouTube if you guys didn't watch us. So appreciate that. And have an awesome day. We'll see you right here next time live on Paint
10 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow.
TV out.